1,000 to 1,200 bucks, you're living nice. Vietnam is a little lower standard of living with that much, probably Thailand a little lower, but here, 1,000 to 1,200, you're living very nice. I live off of half of that.
You live off half of that?
Half of it, yeah.
Wow. This is Dan of Vagabond Awake, and today I'm happy to have Barry on the channel. Barry?
Thanks for having me.
It's a real pleasure.
Yeah.
It's great to meet Barry because he's figured out what most people are going to take till they're my age to figure out.
Right.
And that, well, let's hear Barry's story. So Barry, where are we sitting right now and where are you from?
We're sitting here in Luang Prabang, my home. I'm from Arizona, last place I lived, but from a couple different places. My mom's family's there right now, so that's where I moved from last.
Very cool. And when did you first leave the mothership and go overseas? Like, how long ago?
Oh, I was only 19 years old. I just finished high school.
Right?
Yeah.
And where did you go?
Thailand, actually, yeah.
And how long were you there?
I was there a little over a year and a half, not quite 2 years.
And you learned the language, didn't you? You did?
I did. Every day I was using it, and I learned the language, yeah.
And now how old are you?
37, going on 38, yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been in Laos?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years since, in February, and 6 months in Luang Prabang.
And what made you possess such knowledge at an early age? It's a cool world out there. It's not dangerous. You can actually live there. Mm-hmm. It feels good. How did you come into that awareness?
First time coming over to Thailand. I had not left the country ever. I'd heard people talk about their experiences in other countries, and it was always something that I just thought was incredible. I thought, wow, they went to another country and learned the language. I always wanted to learn Spanish, but went to Spanish class in high school, and it was not for real learning, you know?
Yeah.
And I was disappointed with that, really disappointed, because I'd met people that have been over places and learned the language.
Right.
And so as soon as I had the opportunity, you're a teenager, I was ready to get out of my parents' home and see something new. And after I experienced Thailand, I said, wow, there's something different out here.
Yeah, no, you do Thailand, actually you do Southeast Asia in a way that I think a lot of people dream about. Mm-hmm. And that's, you do it you hang out with locals, you ride around on your motorcycle, you speak to people in the local language, you eat with them, chat with them, and all that. And that's got to bring a whole new experience, doesn't it? I mean, tell us about that.
It's a totally different world. Sometimes I wake up and it doesn't even feel real. So you're like, you know, you still have that 16-year-old self inside of you that's like, hey, I speak another language? And you can jump into this totally different world that has nothing to do, all their perspectives and views on things. It's a totally different concepts. And for me, it's almost an antidepressant. It's an antidepressant. It's, how can I be depressed here when I can go outside, I say hello to anybody, and you automatically get smiles. Yeah. They want to talk to you. Yeah, there's no animosity. There's no avoiding each other. Everybody has time for each other. Everybody has time. Yeah. Wow, that's a way understated thing. Yeah. That's such a big deal, especially coming from where we're from, right? I mean, time. Exactly. It seems it's like we don't have time in the U.S., do we? We don't. We're running so fast, try to possess something, to get somewhere, and instead of just taking your time with each other, taking time on what you enjoy doing, developing your creative side, developing things that you may enjoy, whether it's simple things, you know, like your art, or maybe it's just exercise. We just feel like we're in a rush and we don't take time for ourselves. Yeah. That's modern society. Yeah. And that's the beauty of coming to these countries that are supposedly not developed, when in some ways when you're there you feel like they really are the developed countries, because they're loving their life. Mm-hmm. And they're living it and enjoying it. So now, one of the things that's remarkable about you is you're one of these people that lives on very little money. I do. And that's something that expats my age cannot get their head around. Mm-hmm. I mean, they just don't believe it's even possible. But before I ask you what you're living on, let me ask you, because you know locals, you meet locals, they're your friends, what's a typical Laotian family living on per month? Oh, it doesn't even make sense. I can't understand even at this point how they make ends meet. Because the typical daily wage could be 100 to 200,000 𝐸, which is $5 to $10. Right. 300,000 would be pretty good. Right. Now that's not everybody. College graduates with the real job, with the proper job, and the company might be like $8 million a month, something like that. $8 million a month. What's that? Let's see. $400. $400. Yeah. Yeah. And so the average person is not college graduate. An average person is a farmer, or they're living off of multiple streams of income. They have a little restaurant, they sell lottery tickets, they do multiple things to make a couple 100,000 𝐂𝐈𝐕, so 10 to 15 bucks a day.
Right.
And the rent is extremely cheap. There's not much for taxes. That's why people can live on very, very little. They also share. They share so much of what they have. You know, your neighbors will have whatever plants growing or trees growing in their yard, and it's that season. Like, I got a bunch of whatever herbs or leaves from this tree that's used for this dish, and they give what they have to each other. And the neighbors will come and say, hey, I'd like to get some bamboo shoots. Do you mind if I dig up some bamboo shoots? Yeah, go ahead. And maybe give them a little $1 or $2. The neighbors give you $1 or $2 to compensate you a little bit, but very, very much sharing and helping each other out.
Right. How often in some rural parts of the U.S., even in cities, people say, oh, it's all about family. Is family a thing here?
Oh, it's the most important thing to them. They spend most of their days with family, with friends. That's why I like being here. I think you get to spend time doing the things that we all really want to be doing, but we fool ourselves into thinking that we want to be at work and get to this next level or whatever it is. But I think everybody just really, you want that time with your family, and they have that here.
I'm offering a 50% discount on our lifetime membership. Visit vagabondbuddha.com. Under memberships, click the membership price and benefits button to learn about our 292 Retired Cheap Overseas and Planning Reports, our 7-week Retire Overseas course, and our 9-week How to Make Money Online with Your Hobby course.
For a limited time, use the discount code LIFETIME for $99 when you register to get 50% off our regular price with a one-time payment of $99 for life.
And they're all very happy. So they have good food. I think a lot of people misunderstand that Laos is very poor, and somehow it's like, oh, I feel so bad for them. I hate when people say it. I feel so bad for them. These people are happy.
Yeah.
What is there to feel bad about? Right. They're happy with their quality of life. They're happy with their food. They're happy with the time they have with their family and friends. It's just see yourself growing, see yourself developing in some way.
Right, and you have the time to do it.
And you have the time to do it.
You're not worried
and that's
about
what
that.
I wanted. I made sure that's how I wanted to create my life.
Yeah.
I didn't want to live this life that was regimented on somebody else's schedule. I wanted to say, this is how I spend my time. I get to focus on the areas I want to build myself in, not because nobody else is going to really care about how you develop. Jobs say, oh, we have, personal development. That's not exactly where you want to develop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get to choose the people I spend my time with and where I grow.
Because you're not on that treadmill trying to pay for that car payment, that big house, the second house, this, that. You're in a society that appreciates this lifestyle, and you don't need as much money, so it's a whole different world you're in. So when expats, when they first move overseas, and maybe they jump on a bike or scooter or motorcycle and they're riding around, and they'll end up like in a totally local village, and they'll be like, this thought will occur to them: is it safe here? What are these people going to do to me, right? What's your experience of that? Now you ride around on a motorcycle. You've been all over Laos, Vietnam, or Thailand. Yeah. Have you ever rode into a village and been attacked or mistreated or?
No way.
No way.
It's so far from my mind. It's the safest place I've ever been in the world. I feel way more uncomfortable in the U.S. at night in my own hometown or in Mexico. Mexico is the scariest place I've been.
Yeah.
But even in my own hometown, I don't want to go downtown places late at night. It's just like, this isn't where I want to be walking.
Right.
But here I could go anywhere, and the only thing that people are going to do is ask you to come have some beer and eat with them. That's it. No. Maybe some of the smaller tribes might be like really, really shy and really uncomfortable because they just don't get much contact, and they find the outside world to be, kind of destroy their values and just their simple way of living.
Right. Mm-hmm. And they may be scared of you because you're probably maybe taller than them.
Oh, that's the main thing. They just are scared of our size. We're so much bigger. The average person would be 5'6", I'd say, 5'6", 5'7" for a man.
Right.
You get taller, but especially out in the more rural areas, 5'6", 5'7".
And it's the same reason the expats are afraid of going into that village. It's an unknown to them.
Yeah.
And when they see us, maybe they're a little afraid. It's an unknown. Like, is this one of the good ones or not? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's natural to think fear, but it's nice to hear that you've experienced it over and over again, and it turns out happy. So
every time they're thrilled to have you. They really are.
So people think, oh, retiring overseas or living overseas, it's going to be for the rich people, right? I mean, because you got to fly a jet, it's 20 hours, costs you $1,000 for that airfare. And when you get over there, hotels must be $100 a night. Is your lifestyle only for trust fund kids or wealthy people?
Oh, definitely not. If you have a simple retirement, you can make it happen out here. My uncle's not even on full retirement yet. I think it's only like $1,400-1,500, and that's living really, really well here. But I lived all over Southeast Asia, and I found that my expenses were around $1,000 to $1,200. You know, even with going out on the weekend and having some drinks. Yeah. You're not partying all that. Now, if you're gonna go out and drinks every day, that's gonna go up maybe $300 or $400. $1,000 to $1,200, you're living nice. Vietnam is a little lower standard of living with that much, probably time a little lower, but here, $1,000 to $1,200, you're living very nice. I live off of half of that.
You live off half of that?
Half of it, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I asked him what he's living on, and I knew that people wouldn't believe that right off, so I'm glad he talked first about what his uncle's living on, $1,000, $1,200, whatever, 14, I think you said. So what do you live on? What are you living on? What's your monthly expense?
Well, I was a teacher before, so I was always used to being very poor.
Oh, he's a lot younger than he looked, or wait, yeah, he's older than he looks, sorry.
Yeah.
You're 39, is it?
I'm gonna be 38 this year.
38, okay. Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You were a teacher.
So I was a teacher. I finished school and I wanted to be out here. I was very passionate about this region of the world, and like many people trying to figure out how I could live. My friend said, why don't you try teaching? Like I think that might suit you. And it did for a while. I did it for 8-9 years, almost 10 years. So.
Right. Was that in the States?
No, I taught in Thailand. I taught in China.
Oh, so you
in Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
I taught here in my first year. Here.
Okay.
I taught English, but I taught at the international school. I taught health. I taught PE. I taught math, science to elementary. You just get used to having a very small budget when you're a teacher. You don't make much over here. You gotta usually be here for another reason other than making money.
Right.
You can save money if you live very locally. But after teaching, finally I decided that I think I got something that I can share with people. And I decided to do YouTube, and we're making it happen on $600. So.
$600?
Yeah, $600.
That's nice. So how much is that as rent?
We paid the year up front, $3,500 for the year.
Right.
$3,500.
Right.
So what's that come to, like $366 a month, something like that.
Yeah.
So we split that between me and my uncle.
Okay.
And then my utilities, the landlord covers the waste, which is nothing too. And then the electricity, I think we are at like $8, and our water was like $8.
Did you guys have AC?
I haven't been using AC. That's the biggest difference. If you use AC, when I used AC before I acclimated, it was probably like $15 for my electricity, 15 to $20.
Yeah.
But once you start using a fan and you get acclimated, I think your life gets a lot better. To me, because I wasn't dying every time I came out of the aircon room. Yeah. Like now I ride my bike around and it's 100 degrees outside some days, and I'm barely breaking a sweat. Yeah. You know, first before just absolutely. Where's the aircon? Got to get back to the aircon all the time.
And what's like a typical meal in you probably eat in more local kind of restaurants? You're used to that?
I eat local.
What are the meals like, roughly?
For price of a meal?
Yeah.
Here in Laos, $1 or $2.
Okay.
Yeah. Cell phone's dirt cheap. Yeah, I pay $40,000, so I pay like $1.70 for my internet for the month. And then for my internet at home, I pay like $15 a month, something like that.
Okay. And that's split with your uncle?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the speed, do you know?
Fast enough to do YouTube. I don't know. It goes.
That's fast. So what am I forgetting? Do you cook it? Do you cook much at home?
Yeah, that's why expenses are so cheap. We were just buying locally, cooking all of our meals, and we spent $220 each on groceries.
So $440 for two, $220 for a single person.
Yeah. You know, we were really trying to make it work, see how much we could spend in a day, do a little like almost research, like how much do we need to survive here?
Yeah.
That was about the minimum to survive. But I'd say $300 to $350, you're gonna have as much groceries as you need. No problem. And Western food, maybe add another $50, $400, but if you're spending $400 on groceries, I think that's a lot here.
That's quite a bit. Yeah, that's quite a bit.
And we buy a lot of cheese. I mean, my uncle likes to cook a lot of Western food.
Okay.
We'll go out for local food or buy local food to eat at home, but he likes to cook. He loves to cook. It's his passion. So.
That's great. You like his food?
I love his food. So it works out really well for me. He's the reason. He helps me, survive here.
That's
doing
great.
YouTube. a lot of cheese and those type of things are going to be more expensive here.
Okay.
So I have over 140 interviews with expats living overseas. For some reason, YouTube always puts the one in the feeds that are living for $1,000 or less per month. But that's not a typical expat. Typical expats spend more like $2,000 a month, some over $3,000 a month. And you'll see that in my YouTube playlist of expats. If you go on a steady diet of Western accommodations, Western food, and expat bars, it's almost impossible to get under $2,000 a month. And don't leave your home country until you have significant savings in case of an emergency. Many locals know how to live cheaply in their home country, but very few expats do. You have to put your feet on the ground before you will know what your life costs overseas.
What if your uncle has a retirement visa?
Yes.
How did that go?
Technically, there isn't a retirement visa. They'll say retirement visa, but it's really just one year multiple entry visa, unless you do investment visa or business visa.
Okay. So those are the three kinds.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's it require? What's his income got to be? You got to have this health insurance. Like, what are the requirements?
There's none. That's that's why I'm trying to let people know about Laos. You know, Chiang Mai is such a popular destination for retirees.
Right.
And Laos is, I'm biased, but it's better. It's got way less people, and it's got more nature surrounding it in every direction.
Right.
We've got lagoons, blue turquoise terrace waterfalls.
Yeah.
You can do all kinds of adventures here if you're into that type of thing, or even just go sit and enjoy the outdoors. And the visa costs $600 with the stay permit, $700 if you want the work permit as well.
Right.
Which then you can work here as well, and 1 year multiple entry.
What about dating? Have you done any dating here?
Yeah, dating is good here. That's a big misconception. Because you have Thailand, it can be stereotypically wild or more inviting for the dating scene, I guess you'd say too. And then people have a lot of misconceptions that here you can't date or you can't be with a Lao woman. There might be a law against it. I even had my uncle's friend from the States was questioning whether he could come visit or not with his girlfriend if they could stay in the same hotel together.
Oh boy.
Nobody bats an eye. This is, just like anywhere else.
Right.
We're adults and nobody's asking like, who are you? Why are you with them? What are you doing? No.
Right.
It doesn't exist. People are actually very happy and have more questions about like, they want to know, how did you meet? Because they're happy to see you with a local person.
Okay.
Really happy.
Dating like online or meet women in person, or where do you?
The dating online scene is not like the rest of Southeast Asia, especially not maybe Thailand or Philippines. And here it's going to be much more everyday, but everyday meeting people in everyday life. So,
right.
Which is very easy, like people are super friendly. I wouldn't say, but Thailand and the Philippines are very easy. So I like the fact that it kind of forces you, because it can be easy to just sit online and like make dates and then not get out and actually do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I've done both sides, and I prefer the side that I can come out and meet people, and there is a little bit more like authenticity to it too. You meet somebody just in regular everyday life. I have a video about this.
Oh,
actually,
interesting.
With dating with Lao women, and most of the time the women are like, how come they don't talk to me? Why are they too scared to talk to me? I see these handsome foreigners and they just don't come talk to me. Oh. You can just be friendly and
talk to them like a family member. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, hey, how's it going? Just like everyday chit chat, and they'll definitely chat with you.
That's great.
Yeah.
What's the name of your channel?
Lao Legends is the name.
Lao Legends. Right. So I've watched a few of your videos. It's fascinating. Driving around on your motorcycle in villages, just hanging out. It looks like a real fun life. So tell people what you like to talk about on your channel, so they get an idea of, if they want to come to Laos, what it is you can share with them there.
Oh, I do a little bit of everything. Really, I just want to share everyday life here. If you're interested in knowing more about Laos, how they live, it's right for you for retirement or traveling, and give you some insights into how things work a little differently.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I really want to share the people's story. That's the basis of the channel. Is I think we all have a story to share, and our stories can help each other. So I want to share the people's stories here, and see if you can't see something you've never seen before.
Yeah, and I would say in terms of the expats I've met overseas and the ones I've interviewed, I would say you're the closest to to the people that I've met. So
Wow.
congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, thanks for being on the channel.
Not a problem. I appreciate having me.
Go over to Lao Legends. Watch what Barry's up to.
Yeah.
Thanks,
you,
Barry.
dude.
Take care.
See you later, guys.
All right, thanks for watching. You got two really good choices. You can go over to Lao Legends. I'll put a link in the notes below this YouTube video. Check out what Barry's up to. Or you can check out the video up here somewhere that'll tell you about the sale we're running on our memberships.